Warning. This game is intended for audience aged 18 years and older and incorporates mature themes such as the following. By watching this video, you affirm that you are an adult of 18 years or older, willing to interact with this content. Oh, these headaches, they just keep getting worse. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hi. My name is Spaceshamen, or Captain if you're a crew member, and today I've been receiving some interesting messages from my command center console. Here, let's check it out together. Okay, so apparently my command center console has brought me here to this strange place. We're doing an investigation of some kind. Very intrigued. This is a beautiful building, and apparently the stories that I've heard about the old Gallagher mansion, the tales, the whispers, and rumors, home to decadence and luxury in the days of yore, now abandoned out of fear and left to rot. The obfuscated photos, the promise of lost inheritance, and a history stained by misfortune and blood, spilt in greed and ambition. None of them have done this place justice. Quite the opposite, in fact. They all made it sound much more exciting. A quick look at Gallagher Mansion doesn't suggest anything special. It's just one of many other ancient, abandoned, century-plus-old estates around here. I've never got the hype. These decrepit old places litter this town like fallen leaves no one has bothered to rake up. It's a spot for college dorks to drink and hope no one notices. An occasional haunted house for young adventurers, and home to a few basic ghost stories that some of the older locals take pride in. Heritage and horror in one neat package. You'd never notice anything extraordinary just by looking at it. Sure, close to midnight, an eerie old mansion, far off the main road, will spook you well enough, especially if you're alone. Luckily, I'm neither of those things. Well, technically, I am alone, but not by myself. We're alone together. I fondle the phone in my hands for comfort while trying to avoid thorns of the rose. No need to prick myself just yet, according to Taylor. Gallagher Mansion is abandoned. It's been abandoned for most of its existence. So why doesn't it look like a pile of splinters? Why are the grounds not overgrown with weeds and vines and poison ivy?
Team, do you copy? What's the situation on the field? Over.
That's a good question. Doing fine, Taylor. In fact, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for something more than a light breeze, maybe a darker or stormy night to really set the mood. Over.
Don't jinx yourself now, buddy. Optimal weather conditions will make the mission easier for you and me both. Over.
So cute. You know, you don't need to say over when we're all on phone calls, right? We can talk and hear each other at the same time. Over. Pause. I could almost feel Taylor's pout on the other side of the line. I'm serious, though. So far, this may as well be an evening stroll.
Keep your guard up. If my sources are accurate, I'm like 90% confident we'll find something in this place.
Oh, that's pretty confident. The voice in my ear is Taylor Potts, my longtime dorm bestie at 𝕲𝖓 University, and the president of the college's Occult and History and Science Investigation Club, aka the OHSIC. Or the sick for short. Meanwhile, there's me, the vice president, if only because I'm the only member who consistently shows up to the other meetings. And that's mostly because I feel bad for Taylor putting in all this work for the club. That's why I'm here tonight, of course, and why I'm at the steps of the Gallagher Mansion dressed to some very uncomfortable nines with a desperate ghost hunter walking me through a desperate plan. Long story short, the student union is a meeting away from dropping support from the 𝕲𝖓. I've had trouble retaining membership for a while now, and the facility that we're using for our meetings is utterly wasted on the two of us. Their words, not mine.
What do you mean you're done funding the club? The OHSIC is an incredibly important resource for students to explore their spirituality, their heritage, their culture!
Listen, Mr. Potts. I've pulled enough strings letting you have the club for so long in the first place, but I can't defend you when we're not seeing results.
Still have a freaking anime club! All they do is watch movies and spend money on imported snacks! That's gotta be violating some kind of rule about appropriating funds or something!
First of all, it's the Japanese Culture and Heritage Club. Secondly, they actually retain regular members. as do many other clubs. If you can't engage with the students of this university, you're not really providing anything of value. Space is a premium too.
I'm a premium.
Know that everyone on campus is going gaga for that newly proposed juggling club, and they'd appreciate a room that's barely being used as it is.
The juggling club? The juggling club!
The juggling
You
club.
can't do that to us!
I think it's the juggling club part that's gotten to him the most. Taylor's logic. Clowns juggle things, clowns are scary and evil, therefore juggling club is by default scary and evil. I completely agree.
Clowns! I hate clowns! There's gotta be another way! Please! What do you need us to do to save the club?
All you need is a few more members. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you can show us that the OSICO is still relevant to the student body.
OHSIC.
Yes, that.
We can do it. We can do it. I believe in us, Taylor. We've got this. We can do it. We can do anything. Oh,
Okay, here's the plan. You know that old house way out there on the corner of town? That old Gallagher place where all those deaths and murders happened ages ago?
are you talking to me?
We've never checked it out.
Oh,
We thought it was
Mr.
too
Talking to
boring,
Jefferson.
too vanilla. But no! Maybe we made a mistake trying to find new things when we've left the biggest stone in town unturned.
Oh, Vice President. Oh, me. Oh, okay. Has anything changed?
Tomorrow, we're gonna investigate the old dump. I just know there's something we can find in there. It's our last hope.
So I am the Vice President.
Vice Prez, tonight we're hitting the books. Research like your life depends on it.
Okay. I will do. And by we're investigating, Taylor meant that I go there in person by myself while he provides intel via an earpiece back at HQ. HQ is Taylor's car, of course. Maybe we could paint it like 𝕲𝖑𝖏𝖏 and I get a few members that way.
Status? You've been a little quiet. Over.
I've been flashbacking back to the over thing, huh? So, I'm doing okay, just thinking.
Don't get cold feet now, buddy. We need you now more than ever.
Okay,
You've
I can do
dealt
this.
with the paranormal before, and you've rocked their world. Are you worried about your lines?
Oh my. No, I've got the script down all right, though. I've never been very good at memorizing script lines. I have very short memory. That's why I went into movie making instead of theater.
Films?
Comedy films, mainly.
All right, we pick our outfit. If it's hard to get used to, what are we going to wear? Probably something undecided. My wedding attire is a lot to get used to. Like the top is a vest and a long coat, while the bottom is a huge frilly skirt, so it's really new to me. I do like it though. Fashion.
Number one here, fashionably late and fashionably fashionable.
Over.
Sorry, no can do. You've got to look the part for when you fall into the cold, dead arms of 𝕲𝖏𝖑𝖏𝖏. Over.
Oh my. Understood. I'll look as classically ravishing as possible. Over. As I say that, I quietly adjust my outfit anyway. Taylor couldn't see me over the earpiece anyhow. I may as well be comfortable and maybe even a little disheveled, as benefits someone with my sorrowful tale. Are we disheveled? Are we disheveled and tattered? I'm at the door.
How's the rose?
Immaculate?
Then go for it, buddy. You're about to change our lives.
Ooh, oh my. Okay, well that's... no pressure. Can I ask you one more question before I start the mission?
Shoot.
Did, like, court entertainers or whatever still exist in Victorian times?
I don't really know if they did. Or why you're asking me that?
Medieval clowns. I'm just saying, what if 𝕲𝖏𝖑𝖏𝖏 isn't the only the only ghost left in this mansion? What if there's some medieval clown ghosts? What if I run into this personal clown? Oh.
Ghost clown?
Ah!
Why would you even suggest such a thing? I don't want to think about it.
I don't know, my memory's going 5 million miles an hour. But I could be in danger unless maybe it was a nice clown who could cook.
Quit stalling and start the mission already.
Okay, there goes Taylor, hammering the no fun allowed sign. Ah, well. I turn my attention back to the facade of the mansion. It really does look too well maintained for an abandoned building. The cool brass handle turns, and the door glides open. Yeah, that any sort of door gliding open without any severe crunchy squeaks. Little suspicious, if you ask me. The first thing I notice is how stale the air tastes inside the manor. The second thing I notice is how cold it is in here, even compared to the light breeze outside. The atmosphere is unnaturally frigid, though not enough to make me bail out to go grab a jacket, so long as I'm quick. This place has certainly seen better days. Hacker voice.
How's it looking in there, bud?
A lot more promising now that I'm inside, perfectly ripe for a haunting, complete with a creepy portrait upstairs. In fact, you probably have an asthma attack with all this dust.
Is your sixth sense tingling?
No, just my allergies. I don't know why, but it is super cold in here. As long as I'm in and out of here fast, I don't think that I'll need to worry about it too much.
That's reasonable. I think it's time to summon a ghost then.
Ooh. Roger that. About time I put that single year of high school theater to good use. Well, here we go. I prick my finger on one of the thorns, scatter a few of the rose petals around, and then cue the monologue. I suck in a breath as the thorn pricks my index, channeling the pain into a sufficient hammy performance. Alas, my poor aching heart. I clutch at my chest with one hand and raise the other towards the ceiling, choking out a few dramatic sobs. Before collapsing into a heap, the acoustics in this foyer accentuate the cacophony of echoes. Woe is me, to have been abandoned so coldly at the altar. Why did the love of my life forsake me so? Today was set to be the most joyous day of my mortal existence, and yet all I feel is the pull of despair into my darkest days. Thus, oh, woe upon such an unfortunate soul as mine. I can hear some slow clapping and a satisfied guffaw from the earpiece. All I wanted in life was to know the warmth of a lover's touch. Won't anyone take pity on me? I let loose another pathetic sound of anguish. Oh! While plucking off more petals and close my eyes.
This is my cue to throw tomatoes at the stage, right?
Oi! Tomatoes mean the performance sucks. I'm doing great, you dummy.
Alright. Keep up the good work then, buddy old pal.
I glance around my surroundings. I almost feel like the painting on the second floor is judging me silently, but it must be my imagination. Why should I continue to live a life unfulfilled? I almost think it better to sleep in eternity, dreaming forevermore, rather than to suffer this cruel reality. I pluck off the last of the rose petals and cast away the stem. The deep crimson speckles of my blood glimmer starkly in the light of the moon, now dripping through the cobweb-covered windows. Perhaps I shall die as I lived, alone, with naught but my own sorrow. If God or some kind of gentle soul has lent their ears to my pleas, then take me now. I lower my head and let a few more tears flow down my cheeks. The ritual is now complete.
Truly a riveting performance. 10 out of 10, Oscar-worthy, or whatever.
Oi. Thank you. Hey, you don't kill the atmosphere. I've got something working for me right now. The temperature suddenly drops to the point where it feels like my body is freezing. In my veins. My blood is freezing in my veins. Something inside my brain screams at my legs to run, but I can't move. I raise my head just in time to see the rose petals scattered across the foyer, swirling up into the air, coalescing back into the stem I threw at the foot of the steps.
Alack, what blood is this, which stains the stone entrance of the sepulchre?
I haven't heard the word sepulchre in an eternity.
Wait, who was that? What's happening over there?
My jaw drops as the vague shape of a man materializes from the top of the staircase. My mouth is suddenly too dry to form a coherent response. 𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖆𝖓𝖘𝖎𝖔𝖓, in all his undead and ethereal glory, is gliding down the steps towards me. Holy...
Fresh blood in my esteemed estate, stained on a red rose, no less. A tragic sight indeed. But not quite so tragic as the one who stands before me. Pray tell.
I am pretty tragic.
Who are you? And what is your purpose here?
Hey, bud. What's going on over there?
𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖓, lord of this mansion. My name is... What is thy name? You may call me by my name. And I am but someone's betrothed. I am 𝕲𝖓, and I was betrothed to one who abandoned me at the altar on the day of our wedding. With a broken heart in my chest and tears in my eyes, I sought the solace in a quiet place away from the ceremony and found myself here.
Ah, you poor dear. You and I are not at all dissimilar indeed. I am well acquainted with tragedy, and know that your wounds need tending to at once. Tell me, would you like to forget the cur who broke your heart?
I mean, I honestly didn't expect to see a ghost tonight, because, you know, ghosts aren't real. Maybe. Hook, a line, and sinker. Oh, yes, I would not hesitate if there was such a way to erase my sorrows, but I fear it won't be a simple matter.
Nonsense, my dear. I can melt away your anxiety and regrets, for it is within my power as long as you remain inside these four walls. Now, will you accept this rose, darling?
My anxiety and regrets? I mean, if you can melt away the anxiety... He holds the rose I shredded up not too long ago, and the blood is gone from the petals and the thorns are absent from the stem. Wow, you know your flowers.
Hey, bud. What's going on there? The line's going haywire over here.
Oh, that sounds awful. I reach up towards Elias to take the rose from his hand, and our knuckles brush against one another. His touch is deathly cold. I will.
I'm requesting a report. Do you need backup? Answer me.
Oh.
Wonderful, darling.
Elias' hand glides up to my cheek, caressing it gently, and phasing through my skin.
Now even death won't do us part.
Did I accidentally just propose to a ghost? Is that what this path has led me down? What happened? The distant cry of a carnival mystery. A long wail, a pained moan, looping through the walls and dancing on the flowers. The petals shake, stamens and pistils tremble, and perfume avalanches upon me. A billion senses strong as the forgotten sun. It sounds like my home. Strong enough to sting my eyes. Ah. I rub my eyes and open them to a blue ceiling. What the heck? Where am I? As I ask, the wails and moans shaking my bones cease. They were my breath? Just my breath? And that carnival mystery. The phone's still ringing, but it's not in any of my pockets. This wedding garb is a huge mistake. My hands scamper around the sheets of the bed, searching for my phone, trying to answer. Hang on the bed. My eyes remember to look at more than the ceiling, and along with the rest of my senses waking up and processing information, sure enough, I found myself in some ancient bedroom. They have lovely drapes. I catch a flicker of light amongst the disheveled sheets and snatch it to me. My phone screen glows like a comforting little lantern. I accept Taylor's call and...
Oh, God! I've tried you like 50 times already since the call dropped. What the hell happened?
Taylor, the plan. Everything went according to plan. I don't really know where I am,
Are you still in the mansion?
but according to the plan, somehow I had forgotten where I was. What had happened? I don't know, but it's according to plan. My cheek twinged with the memory of a chill, ethereal touch. Elias. That touch from Elias. A ghost touched me! Right, that actually did happen. And it wasn't just some sleep-deprived hallucination I had from all of Taylor's ramblings, right?
Hey, bud, don't climb up now.
Oh, I guess I'm, not outside, at least.
Describe your location.
Well, everything around me is still dimly lit in a morose shade of blue, so that's a good sign? Well, good might not be the right word. And the decor certainly looks like... wait, hang on. This is still the inside of the mansion, right? Lights and decor are one thing, but this room sure doesn't look like it's moments from falling apart. The sheets I'm lying upon are coarse, but in perfect condition. As fresh as the day they were woven on some state-of-the-art pedal loom. The mattress holds my weight with a sense of duty, and the pillows couldn't be fluffier. The paint on the walls, which were peeling away in the foyer, holds it immaculately tight here, with not a chip in sight, no cobwebs or holes, or even a speck of dust floating up on the air. The portraits and paintings all hang straight and untorn with gilded golden frames, the pots and vases without any cracking in their porcelain. Even the air is a far cry from moss and birds' nests if you ignore the stale taste. And now I'm calmer. I also notice that I'm wearing a pair of soft silken gloves. I don't recall bringing with me when I came in. Were these a gift from Elias? Hey, hang on, look at this bedroom. I took a quick set of photos and upload them to Taylor.
Wait, a bedroom?
I guess it's a lot nicer than the foyer. Nothing's falling apart, nothing's stained. It does look like part of the same house, though. Same general decor.
Huh. Maybe the door was locked and nobody got in? This place is a known party hub, after all. Maybe the co-eds and whoever else wrecked everything they could reach, but they just couldn't get into here.
That seems unlikely. A century of no one visiting would still do damage to a locked room. It's not like it's sealed away from the rest of the world. Unless... was it just this room? A special place for me? Hey, Taylor, can I ask you for a favor?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you, like, brief me on the mission again? Because supposedly everything went according to plan. However...
You're kidding, right?
I just woke up and I'm pretty sure there's a ghost floating around eager to meet me. So, come on.
Yeah, alright, you're right. Let's play 20 questions to catch you up to speed here.
Excellent. Why am I here again?
You're really asking me? Sorry.
Taylor inhales deeply before continuing.
You're on a field mission to investigate 𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖆𝖌𝖍𝖊𝖗 so we can find evidence that ghosts exist, therefore proving that the 𝕲𝖆𝖑𝖆𝖌𝖍𝖊𝖗 still has value to 𝕲𝖑𝖓 University Student Union. Besides finding a ghost, we're also looking to see if we can figure out where that old 𝕲𝖑𝖓 fortune might be. Treasure hunting isn't our primary goal, but it's worth keeping an eye out for.
Oh. Okay.
The newspaper clippings we found always said how huge the inheritance was, but some assets were never accounted for in the banks. Rumor has it that the 𝕲𝖑𝖓𝖓s kept part of the fortune somewhere in the estate.
We're looking for those assets, right? A huge inheritance, you say? That sounds about right. Thanks for the recap. So, who exactly were the Gallagher's in the grand scheme of things?
The Gallaghers were a well-off military family from Europe who came to America in the mid-1800s. Archibald Gallagher, the patriarch of the family, found success as a cornmeal baron.
Cornmeal.
He married a woman named Mildred, and together they had a total of 7 children. All of the Gallaghers were quite exceptional, except for...
That's a lot of kids. Elias.
Elias was the black sheep of the family. All of his other siblings were born strong and healthy, but Elias's birth came with a lot of complications.
Oh. He was bedridden for most of his life, wasn't he?
pretty much the epitome of the sickly Victorian child trope.
I don't think that you should put it that way. I can almost hear Taylor's shrug from the earpiece. How did he die? Or how did the 𝕲𝖓𝖓𝖘𝖎𝖔𝖓 all die?
A lot of rumors say it was some kind of curse, but no one can agree on why they were cursed to begin with. The eldest child died first in a horse accident or something. After that, it was a chain of freak accidents in short succession, completely unrelated to the previous deaths.
Horses are very scary. I don't know if any of you all have ever met a horse, but they're terrifying.
Horses' lives are crazy.
But without fail, it would always kill the next eldest child like a line of dominoes, hitting the rest of them in some pretty gruesome ways.
Oof, that doesn't sound good. Yikes.
I think Archibald and Mildred Gallagher weren't too happy about having to write Elias down as their sole heir once the others were gone, but somehow he'd managed to dodge the curse. Then, not long after amending the will, the parents drowned in a bridge collapse on what was supposed to be a leisurely carriage ride. Same energy as scented candles setting fire to your apartment.
Oh. Well, that's a fear I didn't have until now. Talk about depressing. Oof.
There was, still is, plenty of speculation about Elias spinning elaborate murder schemes to take down his family. But the thing is, Elias had few people to write letters to, and even fewer people who'd write back. Elias became a permanent shut-in after becoming the head of the Gallagher estate. I'd probably do that too if it happened to me.
Sheesh, no kidding. So, who killed Elias then? Elias himself was murdered long after the Gallagher curse had axed off the rest of his family, but who killed him?
That would be Violet and Gerard Dupont.
Dupont.
Gerard was the Gallagher groundskeeper, and after the rest of the family died, he decided to get a little ambitious. Don't think that guy was gay, though. Otherwise, I imagine he would have gone after Elias himself. So, he introduced his sister Violet to Elias as a fellow heiress without a partner. You can guess what happened next, right?
The whole courtship dance, a romantic proposal, and a wedding to write home about?
Everything but the wedding, yes. According to the newspapers we dug up, Elias died the night before his wedding ceremony while the DuPonts were caught red-handed tearing the place apart, looking for the Gallagher fortune.
Oh my. And then the rest is history. Feels different compared to last time. You know, this mission feels different compared to the last time I had an encounter with the paranormal. Taylor?
That's because the last mission I sent you on wasn't a real thing. That was a fake paranormal incident. Hey, after we posted your reactions on the internet, we did get some new members.
For a little bit, then they left, and it was just you and me again. Taylor lets out a deep sigh on the other end, and that's the end of that. I think I'm all caught up. Thanks for catching me up, Taylor.
Of course, bud.
I glance around my surroundings again. The door leading out of this room, out to somewhere only Elias could know, beckoned me forward. I had to know what lay beyond. I think I'm going to explore more.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold your horses!
Horses!
Aren't you feeling lightheaded or dizzy or anything?
I don't want to hold any horses.
Hold your horses!
Just a little groggy. Why?
You know, I've been trying to reach you for 2 hours. Were you even aware you've been gone that long? Maybe you had, like, a concussion or something.
I have no idea, but I don't think I had a concussion. That touch, that really did knock me out, huh? I can barely remember. Elias didn't seem to think that it was a threatening act. Did he want to put me to sleep? Or does he not know his own strength? When I collapsed, what did you hear?
I kept hearing that guy's voice, and a rush of air. So, was it really Elias?
Taylor, you're not gonna believe this. This isn't another one of your fake incidents, is it? I know I shouldn't have asked that. Taylor wouldn't pull that on me twice. But after everything I've been through tonight, it jumped off my tongue in a desperate skepticism.
No, of course not. So you really did see the Elias Gallagher?
I think I touched him too.
Okay, I'm coming in. We have to get you out of there.
Wait, hang on. Why? This is what we came for, though. And we don't know what's going on now that Elias is active. Listen, Taylor, you're the one who's the actual ghost fanatic. I only hang out with you at OSHA because...
𝕲𝖊𝖓𝖘𝖎𝖔𝖓.
Whatever. Look, you finally have your proof that ghosts really do exist, and now you're calling a retreat?
It's a tactical retreat! I was kinda prepared to find a ghost, but not for you to go MIA for 2 whole hours!
Okay, he's got a fair point there. I almost feel a little guilty for how hard he's hyperventilating. Please calm down. Taylor, please. I'm still here. I'm okay. Take a few deep breaths.
Fine. Yeah. Deep breaths.
Poor guy. Taylor's labored breaths slowly even out as I imagine him wiping some non-existent sweat off his brow.
So, if that ghost had the power to put you to sleep, he must be a lot stronger than we anticipated.
Indeed. I don't think that he's gonna hurt me, though. After all, he wants to court me.
You two just met! That's rushing into things!
So much for catching his breath. Oh, does Taylor have asthma? Oh, that was our plan, wasn't it? To trick him into thinking that I was also supposed to get married, and, well, we succeeded. I can just barely hear the faint gnashing of teeth on the other end. I imagine he's over there chewing on his nails.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm still coming in to give you a hand. I trust that guy about as far as I can throw him. Which isn't very far, well, considering, you know, he's a ghost.
Well, if you're coming in, I'm heading out. Don't know what I'll find, but I'm bored of this room.
No, you stay right there. We have no idea what that dude's up to.
Well, according to you, I was sent on this field mission because I have the stronger body with no dust allergies. Just stay on the line, all right? Let's see what happens. I just heard a door close. Ooh. Okay. Oh, that was me. The door opens to a house alive. The chill is gone, and the dim light from the windows flows through the halls like a river undammed. I think that this is the same house after all. The walls are chipped and the floorboards creak, and 100 ornate doors beckon to be opened, a mystery behind each and every one. I cannot come into a house and not open every single door. Call it OCD, call it whatever you want. I have to know what is behind all of your doors. I don't care what's in your drawers. I don't care what's in anything else. I have to know what's inside all of your doors. But I am just as lost now as I was before I fell asleep. I'm out of the bedroom, no signs of Elias or any other ghosts for that matter. I think I'm still in the mansion.
Ugh. Okay then, I'll stay put for now. But if we're gonna do this, then you need to give me a status report.
Okay, so you know how cold I was when I first entered? That's not a problem anymore. The whole manor is... what's one step down from cozy? No response, except what might be Taylor biting his lip. As he contemplates the situation, I hear another voice. It sounds happy? It's humming a melody unfamiliar to me, all at once wistful and joyous and despondent. The harmony of dissonances fill the house, even though they barely outdo a whisper. And despite the echoes crawling like slugs along the walls, it's me! I know exactly where the sound originates. I think I know where Elias is. I'm going to try and find my way back to him.
If the house really has returned to its full glory, is it because of Elias? If it's not freezing in there anymore, that has to mean something. I think you've really awakened him.
Oh, if that ominous sound of lightning wasn't enough, care to elaborate?
Your presence has given him something he hasn't had in forever. I think this house conforms to his spectral energy. You've made him happy.
Huh.
You've satisfied part of his wish for romance, but I want you to be very careful about how that wish gets entirely fulfilled, okay?
Okay. I haven't been paying much attention to where I'm going, but my feet have walked on without a second thought, through twisted halls and 2 other dimly lit rooms. And to 𝕲𝖊𝖑𝖎𝖔𝖓. I peek into the study as quietly as I can, sans the creaky door hinges, so as not to disturb Elias. I spy him holding a few volumes of some old book collection in his arms as he peruses a crowded shelf. I can't help but notice the content smile resting on his lips. Once satisfied with his haul, Elias floats over to an armchair and sets the books on a nearby accent table, making sure they're in his preferred order. It's so cute to think about him floating over somewhere with books in his hands. A pot of tea and some snacks wait for him to sit down. Wait, can a ghost even eat or drink? Contemplating the question, I lean forward to get a better look, the door creaking as it's unintentionally pushed further open. Whoa! Oh! Oh no! Oops, I've ruined his reading time. He spotted me.
Oh, my dearest. Wait there.
Okay. He hurries over, a ghostly tail slicing through the carpet. In a quiet instant, Elias floats before me, his chest puffed dramatically.
Please, my dear. You mustn't wander around. Things remain out of sorts.
I do my best to ignore Taylor's annoyed groan, but when I heard you humming, my feet began to move of their own accord. Why, you must have summoned me here to grant you company. Sure, the line was cheesy, but it wasn't wholly inaccurate. I was drawn to Elias, somehow, by something.
And here I thought I had been quiet so as to not disturb your slumber. Sincerest apologies for rousing you from your rest.
No need for apologies, my dear, for I had already awoken. Elias cocks his head.
And yet, that changes little about the unreadiness of this manor. After all, I have to do all this cleaning myself. Simply look at the state of this study. Oh, it's so far gone from its glory days.
Didn't you say it was pristine?
I did, and I stand by that. The virology labs wish they were this clean. Either Elias is a perfectionist beyond compare, or he and I are seeing 2 different versions of the manor. And yet I find these rooms quite beautiful.
Just wait, and be amazed.
I'm already pretty amazed.
I will have to find new staff quite soon. Sadly, they did not stay with me as I left my body behind. Oh, if only they had.
Now, don't get too preoccupied with the staff. You have all the time in the world to replace them.
On the contrary, arrangements must be made with all haste.
Arrangements? For what?
Our wedding, of course.
Oh my. Taylor chokes on his spit through the earpiece while I stand there and replay that last sentence in my head. I can't blame Elias for wanting to rush after decades of waiting, but Taylor mutters something indiscernible under his breath. I feel the same, though. I might be in more trouble than I expected. But I've only just left the altar, my dear. A long time for you has only been a sunset for me. I ask you graciously to let us seek a compromise. I see the hearts in his eyes. Elias tilts his head once more, eyes locked with mine.
But your heart... I can hear its soft, gentle tears fall upon your soul. I promise you, my dearest, that a heart does not heal easily. No matter how many tales of tragedy and hardship one may read, reality is much more painful. Why, my own heart has been broken more than a dozen times over the course of my life. And alas, it has never once healed, only turned to an aching scar.
Mm.
And I have tried my damnedest to ignore these wounds, to let them bleed out and coagulate into some semblance of strength. But it left me sickly instead. If a heart is to be mended, surgery must be immediate.
Elias takes my hand into his cold, ethereal grasp.
And here before you is someone who can mend your broken heart. Someone who can cherish you, stay with you, create happiness for you.
Oh, you gotta say it like that.
I never had that chance in my own mortal life. And after so long, my dearest, I want you to choose happiness, not sorrow. And I want to be the one to give you that happiness.
You got some pretty words, pretty man. I'm flattered. Something in his words rings truer to my heart than I could have expected. All I'm doing is playing along, acting my part, but if I had actually been left at the altar, would I...
Whatever you do, do not trust him. At all.
Ah! Taylor's voice snaps me from my thought.
But also, don't do anything to upset him. Play it as cool as possible.
Oh, this is a lot of directions, my friend. I might be an excellent actor, but
Elias
takes
gave
so
you
much.
a very thin rope to walk. Don't fall down. Do you understand?
Instructions unclear. Okay, I got this. I can walk a tightrope, or at least fake it. Why not show me what else there is to 𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖆𝖌𝖍𝖊𝖗? Let me indulge in my groom before I marry my husband.
Yes, we shall do that. But I cannot wait forever either. The taste of eternity I've already supped upon is nigh unbearable. Join your groom in helping him plan our wedding.
Taylor once more grumbles something inaudible. And what does my dear groom need help with? Elias gives a thoughtful pause.
Now let me think. I'd love your assistance with the floral arrangements. I have all the flowers of New England in my hands. It shall be difficult to select only a few.
That's many flowers. Many flowers. To prove his claim, he presents his open palms to me, a smorgasbord of tiny sample flowers sprout and bloom for my perusal. That's so many! You'll have to narrow it down for me, else I could never choose, and surely you'd want me to be selective.
Of course! And after that, a cake. I know my grandmother's recipes are still in this house, and I should set off on finding them. I've tasted them all when I was still in the flesh, and they're delightful. As such, I leave the choice of cake to you.
I can certainly do that.
And finally, since you'll be marrying into my distinguished family, I'm eager to bestow upon you a gift suitable of that prestige. I shall lead you to my treasury and introduce you to the family jewels.
Taylor snickers. I can't help it. I laugh too, but try to mask it tastefully. Delightful. So, I shall pick the jewelry that I wear for you?
Precisely.
Huh. Very well. And with that, I believe we've reached an agreeable compromise.
Then let us begin. Take my hand, and I'll lead you to the greenhouse.
Elias's hand isn't nearly as cold as earlier, but my fingertips phase through his just slightly all the same. It's enough to simulate the gesture of holding hands at least. Satisfied with the arrangements, he leads me out of the study and back through the halls. As we walk, I re-examine my surroundings. It really is hard to believe just how much of a glow-up this place got.
Hey, partner. How are we holding up?
Splendid. I've always wanted to hold hands with the man I love. Elias casts me a sideways glance and blushes. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I didn't really mean it. We passed through the foyer on our way to the other end of the manor. 2 hours I was knocked out for, huh? Elias is practically dragging me at this point. We're on our way. We're on our way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
The set of hallways is almost identical to the other end. Sans the glass double doors around the corner, Elias phases through so he can unlock and hold them open for me.
After you.
What a gentleman. I take a step through the doorway, entering a world of flora. Seems the greenhouse still works as intended.
You shuddered a little. Is there a chill, my dear?
No, quite the opposite. Why, I'm surprised at how lovely the greenhouse looks already. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a bit. I can't even tell what plants used to grow in these planters. But my bouquet would be here. Elias could likely turn this from depressing to delightful before I could blink. Do you need any help restoring this greenhouse to its former glory?
I did, but no longer. Behold!
I watch as Elias's eager hands dance upon the trestles, and without any more than a simple flourish, dozens of flowers, this time full size and bloom, await my perusal.
Voila! My dear, your flowers.
My eyes and nose are drawn to the 3 flowers in particular, none of which should be growing on a trellis. An act of defiance, paranormal willpower, or simply Elias forgetting his botany? A classic red rose, it seems to be a different variant than the one that I brought with me inside the manor, though not a climbing rose. A dazzling orange zinnia, the color reminds me of the soda I bring to the club room, though that's probably the least poetic thing to think about right now. And finally, a cute bunch of lyre flowers, vibrant and pink amongst the other blooms. They're pink! I've always enjoyed their cheerful presence whenever I pass by them.
And there's more. Much more if these don't delight you.
Oh, I'm really liking the ones after the zinnias. No. I think one of these shall delight us both.
And which will that be, my dear?
The pink one. I like the lyre flowers. The lyre flowers. They're so delicate looking compared to the others. I think they'll make a perfect understate piece.
I see. They may be delicate, but they're passionate. Lyre flowers, also known as bleeding hearts, lady in a bath, or even Venus's car, are flowers representative of a kind soul.
They're perfect!
And what other perfect petals may we pick for this bouquet? There are many accoutrements to select from. I trust you to choose well.
I always like the word accoutrement. You see. My hand gravitates towards a bunch of simple white flowers to go with the lyre flowers, while I ignore Taylor's childish whining over the earpiece.
Ah, white poppies. They live in the realm of dreams, and kindness, and consolation.
More white roses, something simple and basic.
Flowers of purity, reverence, secrecy.
Kinda like the one you got on your lapel. My instincts lead me to a handful of tiny little purple pinpoints of petals for an accent, I suppose.
The stone crops are tranquil, serene. A cure for a broken heart.
Oh no! Too close to home. Good choices so far. A frown tinges Elias's lips.
Yes.
You sound unsure. Not unsure, but almost on the verge of a panic attack, though that probably isn't a good thing to say to him.
They're very familiar choices to me. And perhaps familiar to you.
Uh-oh.
What bouquet did you carry to the altar before?
He looks at me sternly, brows furrowed in concern. I...
Crap! Didn't think you'd actually ask that. Make something up!
Classic roses? It's where I got that other rose. Truthfully, I can barely recall. They weren't picked by me. I can only remember a haze of blues and pinks through tears.
I'm so sorry. Perhaps that was too much for you at this moment. But I do think you are being hasty. The flowers are lovely together, but the lyre flowers are so dominant. A little too passionate.
Let me choose one more as a proper compliment.
Please do, and take your time. Nothing will hurt you here. I will make sure of that.
Uh-huh, sure you will.
I look over the flowers as slowly as I can, hoping that I can find one that Elias won't freak out over. God, who thought that picking flowers would be so stressful? I'm honestly choosing what looks aesthetically pleasing, perhaps something with heavy contrast? Here's something deep blue and sharp. I think this will have to do. This flower, if you don't mind.
Hey, what's going on?
Maybe not, dear?
I'm getting static again. The hell?
You can say no.
Violet.
Hey, status report. You're cutting out again.
Something crashes to the ground and shatters like a meteor striking the mansion, and a spotlight shines on my regretful face. And the sun is out. The sharp rays of the light beam through the greenhouse glass, and all I can see is haze. Something's very wrong. Movement shadows outside a window. Dare I look? I have to look. An archway, a gazebo baking in the blazing sun, a lush garden with the promise of life, sickeningly sweet scents hang in the air. She brushes past me like I'm not there. Who is she? Who is she? Elias knows. Elias must know. Violet? She walks between the shadows cast by the trees through the arch under the gazebo. And still she's here beside me. Even so far away, she's still here. The wind catches her sun hat while the sun hits a single point on her bosom, reflecting light into my eyes. Violet's gown, Violet's trail, they stretch into a past that refuses to be forgotten. I look for Elias, wonder why I cannot see him, and call his name to the sea of green shrubbery. The garden cannot be asked to care. Violet turns her head toward the interrupter. I see. Ah! Without thinking, I try to catch him as in my arms to keep him from collapsing. Well, as much as one can keep a ghost from collapsing, at least. I didn't know that I could catch you like that. Nothing remains besides myself, Elias, in the greenhouse. The day is gone, the garden outside is gone, and Violet is gone too.
Hey, are you there?
Taylor's worried voice buzzes in my ear.
Everything went static for a minute.
Elias, I didn't mean to do anything that would hurt you.
No, you didn't. I left the flowers there after all. You chose fairly, and you made a beautiful bouquet. I apologize for worrying you.
I didn't mean to make a bouquet that gave you an anxiety attack. Elias, go lay down, please. I'll read you the bouquet.
I assure you that won't be necessary, but thank you. I should clean this up.
We'll clean up together. We work in a tense silence to tidy the greenhouse. I'm worried about Elias, though. I wonder what sort of exhaustion ghosts can feel. As a tiredness that lives in your soul. I wonder if Elias can let go of Violet.
My gratitude to you. I'm afraid I must take a moment to gather my wits before I look for my grandmother's recipes.
Do you want me to accompany you?
I'm flattered, but a bit of privacy would be appreciated.
Understandable. I understand. May I look around the manor while I wait? Elias stares past me, not answering for a moment.
You may, so long as you stay on the ground floor. And please, excuse the state of disarray the rooms may be in.
Don't go into the east wing! Stay away! He bows, and I return the gesture not long after he faces through the wall, leaving me alone in the greenhouse.
Okay, you alone? Who was that woman?
You heard something?
I heard someone whispering through all the static. A woman, I think. Didn't sound like anyone I recognize.
Ooh, I hope Violet's ghost isn't haunting this place as well. I think I met Violet Dupont.
Is her spirit there too?
It was like a vision, I think. I don't know. Just let me catch my breath.
Yeah, take your time.
My steps feel heavy as I return to the hallway. I wasn't expecting floral arrangements to be that intense.
Hey, are you doing all right now?
I'll live.
Might be time to see what you can get up to before your rendezvous with Elias.
I nod my head as Taylor can somehow see me through the earpiece. Back to where it all began. The dust isn't so thick now, and while It doesn't look all too fabulous compared to the rest of the place. It looks a little less uninviting. Hey, you remember that painting that I mentioned before in the foyer?
On the second floor. Yep. What about it?
I think I can make out a few of the details better now. Maybe you can get a pic of it. I test my foot on the first step and then angle my camera up to snap a photo of the frame. When the deed is done, I text it to Taylor. Here you go. If I had to hazard a guess, then this style of painting would be Impressionism. It was all the rage in the late 19th century, so it'd fit the timeline. Know anything about the subject?
It's probably a portrait of one of the Gallagher ladies. What better way to flaunt wealth and status than by paying someone to preserve your likeness with expensive materials?
I zoom in on the photo I took and study the details. I assume Taylor's doing the same. Those earrings and necklace, and the size of that ring, too. Dang. That's too rich for my blood.
Probably the precious family jewels Elias was telling you about.
Taylor snickers. I roll my eyes with a groan.
Anyways, I'll look into this and see if I can get an exact match for who it might be. Keep hunting around?
Roger that. I pick up one of the many doors in the foyer and swing it open, wincing a little at how badly it needs to be oiled. Huh, Elias wasn't kidding when he said that some of the rooms would be in disarray. It definitely doesn't look as nice as the study. I think this is a living room, or a lounge. There's couches at least. The patterns have worn off them and the material is torn open in a few places. I run my hand over the back of the love seat.
Anything interesting there?
Aside from the couches, there's a rocking chair, a mounted deer head, a painting of a building, a grandfather clock, and a bookshelf. Elias hasn't worked his magic here, so it's a bit decrepit. I'll investigate everything else before I take a look at the books. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that anyways. Let's check out the deer head first. I walk over to the mounted deer head and peer into the soulless, long, dead eyes. Taxidermy always freaked me out as a kid, and that never changed as I got older. Gallagher men liked to hunt for sport, didn't they?
All of them but Elias.
From my interaction with him, he probably couldn't even hurt a fly. I don't really see the point of killing animals for fun, like at least eat the venison, you know? Actually surprised that I don't see any rifles mounted on the walls for decoration.
How big are the antlers on that deer anyway?
Really small, nothing to write home about.
Did you know that in the winter, deer, moose, and other mammals who grow antlers will just shake them clean off? Maybe they shot that deer in the spring when it was regrowing them.
Huh, thanks for the fun trivia. Inspect the clock. Is it German-made or Swiss? I peer at the face of the grandfather clock, frowning when I notice that the hands are missing. I know analog clocks are a thing of the past, but I really like the aesthetics of a ticking clock. There's just something about them that's cool. Indeed.
You think so? I feel like they're too inaccurate. If a gear stops turning or the battery dies out, then you have to manually set it again. Digital clocks hook up to the internet so they don't have that problem.
Taylor, you're missing the point. It's about the aesthetics. Taylor lets out a loud grumble instead of bothering to argue with me. Let's inspect that painting. Another impressionist painting, this time of a building's facade. It doesn't seem to be the manor, though. So I wonder if this painting has any significance. Do you know if there are any secret passages in the mansion?
I wouldn't doubt it since the Gallaghers had this place built just for them, but I wouldn't know where they are. They're secret for a reason.
Gee, thanks. I try to lift up the painting just enough to see if there's anything behind it, and there isn't. Alright, I think we're done. Hey, Taylor. I've looked at everything else aside from the shelf. I'm gonna check out the books. Any ideas where to start?
Tell me what you're looking at.
I scan the spines for titles. There's an encyclopedia series, a dictionary, a thesaurus, a Bible, Bible hymns, and an assortment of Shakespeare plays. I pull out one of the Romeo and Juliets and flip through the yellowed pages, or at least try to. The corners of the pages disintegrate in my fingers.
Ha ha! Bingo! I finally got a match on that painting from earlier.
Oh. Oh yeah? Who is it? I slide the book in my hands back to the shelf before hazarding a seat on one of the couches. Moments later, Taylor texts me an old black and white photo.
Check it out. That's Mama Gallagher herself. Mildred loved to host tea parties and dances at the manor. Always made a grand show of the family bling while she was at it.
I don't blame her. She's very beautiful.
She was the envy of the land until that Gallagher curse killed her.
Oh.
Anyways, that's one mystery solved. Think there's anything else in here?
I stand up and check my shelf again. Oh, there's a children's picture book here about clowns?
Don't open that!
Pfft, okay, nerd. Well, nothing really calls out to me, so I'm going to the next room over. I pause momentarily. Over?
Roger that.
Taylor, you got a cute laugh. I slip back out to the foyer and stare down the other doors. A map of this place would really help right now. Well, here I go. I push back past another door at random and peek my head inside before walking in. It's a modestly sized room with a rectangular wooden table surrounded by chairs along with a small chandelier on the ceiling. I think that this is the dining room. It seems suited for eating meals here with a large family or guests. At least it's in much better condition than the living room.
What else is in there?
Fireplace, table, chairs, lamps, and a fancy-looking cabinet. More books there than it looks like.
Take a look around and tell me if there's anything interesting before you indulge in literature again.
Aw, roger that. Alright, let's check out the fireplace. Maybe we can start a fire. It'll be nice and cozy. I'll head over to the fireplace and start knocking on the walls. I hope there's a secret passage in here. No matter where I knock, I don't find any sections that feel or sound different.
No dice.
No dice.
Keep at it, bud. Your dream will come true one day.
Aw, thank you for believing in me. This is such a nice table. It's got a lacquered wood finish and everything.
Can you stick to the mission, please?
Oi. Hey, I'm doing a lot of the walking here. Let me sit down for a moment. Taylor huffs in my ear while I plop down on one of the chairs, which happened to be surprisingly cushy. You know, you never really answered my question from before.
Which one?
About the hypothetical ghost clown servant.
No, we are not talking about clowns!
What if a ghost clown man made you blueberry pancakes in a bid to gain your friendship and trust?
I don't even like blueberries, and waffles are superior in every way. They can hold syrup, melted butter, or whatever you top them with, so you lose less to your plate.
I mean, you got me there. I do love waffles more than pancakes. Pancakes, they just get stuck in my throat. But Taylor, I keep telling you, you need to lay your face down in a fresh stack of fluffy pancakes at least once in your life. It's like being hugged by a litter of puppies.
I am not putting food on my face, or my face into food.
Ah, you're missing out.
No, end of conversation. Get back to the mission.
I click my tongue in annoyance and he clicks back. Inspect the floor. Could use more light in here, but these lamps are probably dead, aren't they? Yeah, they're just as dead as Elias. I wonder if collectors would go wild over some of these antique light bulbs.
Of all the things in this mansion, you're thinking of stealing the light bulbs?
Hey, you'd be surprised what those things go for on eBay. What? You want me to walk out of here with the table?
Fair enough.
I hold one of the lamps in my hand and try to twist the bulb off, but it doesn't budge. Scratch that. I'm not gonna bother.
Hey, want to know another fun fact? Thomas Edison didn't actually invent the light bulb. He bought the patent from two dudes named Henry Woodward and Matthew Evan. Edison was able to claim fame thanks to the fact that he had enough capital to finance improvements to the design.
So, the moral of the story is that the rich get richer and the poor stay starving?
My point was that popular history gets written by the winners, but that works too.
Nothing else to look at but the cabinets now.
Let me know what you find.
I kneel down by the floor and inspect the books on the bottom. They seem to be cookbooks for various European cuisines, Irish, Polish, Dutch, and so forth. No dessert cookbooks here, but maybe they're behind the glass.
Right, Elias wanted to bake a cake for you. Would he even be able to eat it?
He did have a tea set in the study, so maybe it's like food offerings for the departed?
Can you say that again? I think my line's coming out again.
Oof. I said, There's static in the earpiece, and I'm suddenly overcome with dizziness. I groan while trying to get back upright, grabbing the back of the chair for balance. Ooh. Suddenly, my vision darkens and the room spins. My feet can't touch the ground. I'm falling. Falling down into a yawning abyss. I open my eyes. Behind me, the chandelier starts swinging and the fireplace roars to life, and yet I'm freezing, like there's ice slushing through my veins again. It's horrible, and I'm scared. This is definitely the same dining room, but everything feels wrong. I grip the chair harder and lift my head. That was a mistake. Encased in the glass of the cabinet is the figure of a woman. Oh! Oh my god. She's so far away, but she's coming closer and closer, with a knife in her hand and a Cheshire cat grin painted across her lips. Dripping with bloodlust, her needle-like gaze makes a pinboard of me. I can't breathe. I have to get out of here. How can I escape? In an act of defiance, I spin in the opposite direction and try to make a break for it, but my feet are cemented in place.
Hey, can you hear me? Answer if you can hear me!
Get away from me! My knees give out and I collapse back into the chair.
Are you okay? Were you attacked?
Not physically.
Static took over the line again, and I heard something garbled from your end. Some kind of whispering or chanting? Was that you?
No, that wasn't me. I swallow deep gasps of air, trying to regain my breath as Taylor's voice rings in my ear.
Hey, what did you see?
I think it was Violet again.
I'm starting to think there are some other spirits in this mansion besides Elias. Why else would there be interference when he's not even in the room?
Goodness, are you quite all right?
I look up at the sound of Elias's voice.
Why do you look so pale?
Don't say it, 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 don't say it. Oh, my sweet Elias, I simply... Am I going to tell him that I had a vision of someone? Probably the woman he was supposed to marry charging at me with a knife. It simply feels as though 1,000 years have passed since I last saw you, my love. And I began to feel a bit lonely. Taylor groans on the other side while I fake a pacifying grin.
It's been like, what, 20 minutes tops?
Forgive me for leaving you to your own devices for so long, dearest. I am here now, so there is no need to linger in the despair of solitude.
My gratitude, Elias, but surely my pain is nothing compared to your own.
Worry not, my love, for my years in the flesh prepared me for such an existence. I am not forgotten.
Could be my imagination, but I see a flicker of pain in his eyes for a moment, as if he's trying to convince himself of that last bit.
Why, even before you came to me, there would be the occasional visitor to my manor. None quite so welcome, mind you. Most were in a stupefied, intoxicated state. Good entertainment, but not the company I'd choose to spend the rest of my waking moments with. Unlike you, my love.
Man, this guy is just... ugh.
I'm trying my hardest not to roll my eyes at Taylor's unnecessary commentary. Let us not linger on such irrelevant matters, then. Shall we resume our preparations for the ceremony?
Why, yes, a splendid idea.
Elias moves towards the glass cabinet with a bounce in his float, swinging the doors open as he starts humming.
Our wedding shall be oh so fine. The layer cake most of all, unforgettable. Nana's baking divine, and when paired with white wine, to not taste it would be quite regrettable.
He's so cute! Oh, he's got a Nana! Oh, and he's bouncing and floating. Oh, Elias, stop. You can't make me fall. You can't make me fall for you like this.
Oh, though I do miss her cream pies as well. Shame those aren't quite appropriate for a wedding.
Oh my god! Did he just say cream pie?
Taylor, you're a child. Get your head out of the gutter or I'll make you cry.
She wrote the recipe in a manner such that you could make it in any sort of flavor, so long as you had the proper ingredients. Say, what flavor shall our cake be, my dear?
Aww. That's a good question. Oh, so there's many options to choose from, aren't there? I simply can't decide. What do you suggest, dearest? Elias thumbs the spine of the cookbooks with a little more focus.
I was quite partial to Earl Grey myself, but vanilla is always agreeable no matter the party. Though perhaps a delicate lemon with hints of lavender.
Okay, this is scary. I'm Get out of my brain. Is something the matter, Elias?
I must have misplaced grandmother's dessert recipes. I can't find them.
Oh no. Elias lowers his hands from the cabinet and sighs, crestfallen.
Where did I leave them? I know I have seen it within the past decade at least.
Hey, here's our chance to look for more clues somewhere else.
Taylor makes a good point. Perhaps I can assist in your search. With 2 sets of eyes, I'm sure we'll find your grandmother's recipe in no time.
I am loath to ask my betrothed to make up for my mistakes, but yes, I would appreciate your help.
Do you have any inkling of an idea where you may have left them?
Unfortunately not. I do know that it must be in the manor, however. None of my possessions have left the grounds. I will investigate the common room. Take care where you may search, and be cautious of the 2nd floor. I have done my best to stabilize the structure, but it does take quite some energy.
Understood, my love. May we find your grandmother's recipe soon. Elias bows before he takes his leave through the door, and I release a breath I didn't realize I was holding.
Is he finally gone?
Looks like I can try looking around on the 2nd floor now, but where should we start?
Well, you never got to hunt around the study since Elias was hanging out in there. But I wonder if you can find his bedroom.
Taylor pauses when he speaks again, and I can hear his voice waver.
We also have no idea what caused that vision you saw earlier.
Should I return to the study, search for Elias' bedroom, or stay here in the dining room where I saw that vision? I can only be in one place at a time. We're already in the study. That's most likely where the book would be. Let's return to the study. I want to revisit the study. We might find something out about the Gallagher family business, or that curse that killed them all.
Not a bad plan. Archibald Gallagher made his office in that study, so he talked business deals there.
Definitely find something interesting, that's for sure. I exit the dining room and head towards the study, back to where I found Elias after waking up. Did you have any theories about the curse, by the way, Taylor?
I know about as much as you do. Perhaps one of those shuttered small businesses cast black magic on the family in retaliation for Archibald using them as a stepping stone on his way to the top.
I mean, we are talking to our future ghost husband, so anything is possible.
Mr. Archibald Gallagher was known to be a rather stern and ruthless businessman.
I guess we'll see if we can find any evidence if they're in the ledgers. Back in the study, the gentle aroma of chamomile tea permeates the room. Everything looks to be the same as the first time I was in here. I love the smell of chamomile tea. It's one of my favorite teas ever. Second one is lavender. Third one is Earl Grey. That's why I got so excited about the lemon and lavender cake. I want that so bad. I want it now. It looks like it's business as usual.
What does that mean?
The tea set that Elias had out is still here, and there's way too many books to look through. Not sure where to start.
Unless he took a nap, he'd have to have been doing something.
I scanned the room once more, spotting a few new books on the desk. Maybe Elias was looking at those? I'll start at the desk. There's some volumes here I didn't catch before.
Sounds good.
Static cuts Taylor off again while a rush of dizziness knocks me into the chair. Not again! Oh. Yes. I didn't realize that ghosts could do ASMR. Hushed, hurried voices emanate in the darkness. Heavy feet stomp on plush rugs. Tension and anger loom in the air. Louder, louder. They're yelling. They're shouting. Come over the pie? I'll search you? Okay, alright, this is silly. Which way is up, which way is down? I don't know if I'm standing or floating or sitting or lying. I can't feel anything. I'm suffocating. My lungs are bursting. I want to cry. A tiny ray of light blinds me. I rush towards it in hopes of granting me solace, cupping my hands around it so it doesn't escape. Inside the light is a small motion picture. 2 figures in the study, one taller and older in a chair, and the other much more youthful, leaning on a cane held in his right hand. The figure is vaguely familiar, yet I barely recognize him. His skin isn't translucent and blue. Oh, little Elias.
Blast it all. Your sister died earlier this spring, and already we have to make arrangements for the next funeral.
Father, if you would let me speak just once.
What is it, Elias? I don't have time for idle chatter from a child like you.
Elias taps his cane on the carpet several times in barely restrained protest, though the man named 𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖆𝖔𝖓 doesn't notice.
I am not a child anymore. I am already of age, and I'd like to make a single request of you. It will not be too much trouble to you, Father.
And what would that be?
My mirror has been in need of repair for the longest time. If you could have someone restore it.
What mirror?
Grandmother's mirror. The one that used to be in the attic. It shattered. But I still have all the pieces.
Archibald turns towards his son in disgust.
You still have that trash in your room. And you dare ask me to repair it after you broke it?
Elias' knuckles turn white on his left fist while he's trying to keep as much of a neutral face as he can.
It wasn't me, it was...
I have no time for your childish sentimentality, Elias. That mirror is worth nothing, and I have much more pressing matters to attend to. Leave now, or I'll have one of the servants remove you!
Father, I can walk on my own 2 feet just fine.
If Archibald heard Elias, he certainly didn't care to react. Elias grips his cane tightly before turning towards the door. In the process, our eyes meet. My breath hitches in my throat before I can muster the willpower to do anything else. And just like that, the scene disappears with a blink.
Copy! Hey, do you copy?
Taylor! My vision adjusts and suddenly I'm back in the study I walked into. A cold sweat clings to my skin.
Another vision?
Yeah, I'm still not used to these. These things are way worse than one time Taylor and I tried experimenting with... We got a bad batch. It turned out to actually be basil. Some oregano.
Give me a status report.
I steady my breath and grip the arms of the chair as I sink down. I landed in the chair, at least, and this time I saw 𝕲𝖑𝖑𝖆𝖔𝖓. He was arranging the next family funeral while Elias wanted him to fix, a mirror?
A mirror?
He said it belonged to his grandmother.
I'll see what I can find out about it. Was there anything else?
One of the other things that I saw was Elias, that Elias was using a cane, and his dad said something about having servants remove him like he was an object.
What the actual fuck?
I don't know. Archibald said it as if Elias couldn't leave the study on his own, like he had zero autonomy, and of course Elias was really upset. Man, I'm upset about it.
Take your time to catch your breath. Let me know when you're ready.
I close my eyes and take in another deep breath. These flashbacks or memories or whatever are extremely tiring, but assuming they're all from Elias's life, I shudder a little. I can't believe that he had to go through that. I almost want to cry for him, but I don't know if I have enough time to do that right now. I need to focus. I bring the chair up to the desk and immediately start rifling through the books. There's a series of large notebooks filled with sheets upon sheets of information aged yellow from the passage of time. I think I found the old Gallagher Mansion's business ledgers. Journals detailing where all the assets are as well. I flip through more pages, more books. There's bank names, no clue as to where the jewels might be.
So close, yet so far.
I reach the end of the final notebook and stare, stunned, at the last leaf. Unlike the other pages, written in neat black ink, a red scrawl screams at me. The heck?
What's wrong?
The last page of the ledger says, "Those without fortune cling to what they can." It's written in red ink like someone was desperate.
Wow, that's ominous and not helpful at all. What does it even mean?
Elias is probably the only one who knows. I sift through the ledgers once more. After a sigh, I put the books away.
Nothing else?
Only hastily scribbled locations. I think I better get back. I quickly put everything away where I found it and then stand up from the desk. After scanning the study one last time, I head back out into the hallway. Just as I'm a few paces away from the study, I see Elias turn the corner with a giant grin on his face.
Good news, my dear. I have recovered the recipes.
Aw.
No need to fret any longer.
I jump as he floats closer, quickly trying to regain my composure. Elias, completely oblivious to my panic, continues giving me a reassuring smile.
It's all right, my dear. Now then, have you decided on a flavor?
Yes.
Choose Funfetti! Choose Funfetti!
Taylor. Ignoring Taylor, I choose lemon and lavender.
An excellent choice. You have the most wonderful taste, my dear. Please, let me handle the remainder. If you wish to rest, please, I encourage you to do so.
Thank you, Elias. I shall take you up on that offer. Elias bows before floating off to some other part of the manor, leaving me alone again. Okay, he's gone.
Hey, bud, you sound really exhausted. You should find some place to sit down and rest.
I mean, I've had, like, significantly several visions at this point. I think you're correct. Yeah, give me a minute, alright? I take a look around the hallway. It really doesn't help that all these doors look the same. Shrugging, I pick up a random door, try the knob, and to my surprise, it turns. I guess I'll go in here. I'm not entirely sure what I expected, but it's a bathroom.
Is it at least clean?
Dusty, but not moldy. I guess I can sit on the porcelain throne. I sweep my attire to the side and close the lid before taking a seat.
So how are you feeling? You've been through a lot, and that's the understatement of the century.
I'm physically okay. More mentally exhausted, really. We've got so much evidence to sort through.
Maybe we should go over everything we've learned so far.
I don't know how much time I have, but we might as well try.
Assume you have a little, so talk as fast as you can.
Okay, so those visions, those are some horrifying things. I think they're only scary because I'm feeling what Elias felt, otherwise they'd just be kind of spooky.
Are you afraid you're digging too deep?
What? I mean, I don't think I have a choice as far as I can tell. It's all about trying not to remind Elias of his past. But we'll never get anything good if we don't.
Okay, maybe take a step back and...
Relax, I'm already here. I've seen the face of death in a sundress, and I think I can save our club. You've known me forever. Trust me. Please.
But...
Violet has to be at the crux of all this. Or close to it. If I keep seeing visions of things we couldn't find in our research, we should be able to put together the bigger picture. There's so much to the story than we ever could have thought.
Definitely.
Then there's what happened just now. That vision that I had while looking at Archibald's leisure was really intense. God, I felt so frustrated when he wasn't even talking to me.
I still haven't found anything online about whatever mirror Elias was talking about. Did he mention how big it was? Like, are we talking a hand mirror or a standing mirror?
I don't think that he brought it up. All he said was that it belonged to his grandmother.
Do you think it's a red herring? Though, breaking a mirror is pretty bad luck.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Maybe it's the source of the curse.
And if Elias still has the pieces of that mirror, we can get to the bottom of this whole ordeal.
That would definitely be something we can boast about. Solving a centuries-old curse. I'm just not sure you should tackle that tonight. Honestly, and I mean it this time, I want you to leave this place. There's something very wrong going on. Nothing we read said anything like this would happen.
Taylor, calm down. I know this isn't what we expected, but what were we expecting? Exactly? Be honest. Did you think that this would actually pan out? 3 years of failure, and now we're finally here? We finally got what we wanted. And we've planned so much. Fantasized so much about what we do when we finally met a restless spirit. We try our best to soothe them, to help them move on, to bring them to the happiness that they've lost, to finish their unfinished business. Now that we have the opportunity, shouldn't we do what we said we'd do all along? Maybe we can help him move on.
Please, we don't know what kind of tricks he has up his sleeve. I don't want you to fall for anything he might be up to.
I won't. I promise. Am I even sure Elias is up to anything beyond trying to wed me? And will breaking Elias's heart any further really be better than going through with all this? The next thing to do is to pick out some jewelry, and then we're ready to go. The wedding will probably be at dawn, maybe just before. I don't know for sure. Do you want me to
Bud?
I checked my phone, and that beep means exactly what I think it means. My phone battery's almost dead. Crap, my phone's dying.
What?
Out of juice!
You didn't bring a portable charger?
Why would I? Honestly didn't think I'd be here that long, and I didn't have much time to plan.
I'm coming in.
What? Wait, you?
I'm not leaving you alone in there with no contact. I'm responsible for that much. Stall for time. I'll see you soon. Over and out.
The line goes dead. The pounding of my heart intensifies like a symphony reaching crescendo. Like an aria bursting from the melody, a voice triumphantly calls out to me.
My dear, can you come to the living room?
I have no choice but to oblige. As I step through the corridors, each creak of my footfalls is as thunderous as a waterfall. The phone vibrates one last time in a final warning before embracing its inevitable death. I arrive at the door and enter the living room, where Elias waits. At this point, there's no hiding my stress. I'm not that good of an actor, and Elias would see right through me. Still, I do my best to compose myself and step into the living room. Elias is waiting for me, just as he said he would be.
Oh, my dear, you look paler than me.
Don't say the line. Don't say the line. Don't say the line. Like I've seen a ghost. Ah, no, it's bad. It's still bad. No. Yeah, I probably do.
What on earth happened?
I lost contact with someone very important just now. Have you ever been contacted by a spirit medium? That's something like what I've been doing, but that contact has been cut short.
You've been talking with someone else?
I have for my own safety. When I came to this manor today, I didn't know what to expect.
I thought you expected me.
I hoped for you, Elias, but until I came here, how could I know that was true? Perhaps I'd arrived to an empty estate moments from collapse without anyone to greet me. Just another false rumor about a haunted mansion. Or maybe you wouldn't be as friendly and courteous as all of the whispers implied. Maybe you wouldn't be the one lingering in this mansion at all. Or maybe there are so many other possibilities. How many ghosts have you met in your lifetime, Elias?
A fair question. Well, I have faint memories of catching specters out of the corner of my eye. Unexplained disturbances and whatnot. But I have not conferred with any ghosts like the two of us have chatted. Certainly not in life.
Exactly, so you understand my mortal caution. Elias pouts. My friend, my medium, was the one guiding me through this manor safely.
And did you just meet this friend today, or...?
I've known him for a long time. He was the one that told me about this manor in the first place. Listen, Elias, I've met 0 ghosts until you, but not for lack of trying. Both myself and Taylor, that is, my friend, have spent the better part of the past 3 years searching for the paranormal. And that's what led me to you. I don't know if I would be here if I hadn't spent that time looking for so long.
Marvelous. My dear, how wonderful it is that you finally found me. Though, would you have sought the hand of any other ghosts you may have met?
A guilty sigh emanates from my lips, permeating the air. If they were willing to court me, I wouldn't automatically say no. But I imagine, based on what I've read, that none of the ghosts I otherwise might have run into around here would be interested in such things.
And as for your friend, how exactly has he served as a medium?
Well, this earpiece is my method of communication discreetly. I take a bit of plastic out of my ear and hold it out to Elias to observe. Whether he has any knowledge of such modern things or not, I have no clue. But sadly, it's stopped working and needs to be charged. I don't think that you're able to help here either.
So, to contact him again, you'd have to leave?
Actually, he's coming here. Now that the link between us is broken, he's not going to let me out of his sight.
Oh, is that so?
Is Elias blushing? He's not suddenly getting jealous of Taylor, is he?
Well, he's heard about the wedding, yes? Our wedding?
Yes.
Well, I suppose a wedding without guests isn't much of a wedding. Everything is just about in order for the ceremony anyway. And I hope your friend realizes how safe you are with me by now. He can wait outside for a little while we finish our preparations. Shall we go ahead and place the final touches on this affair?
We shall, dear. He offers me his arm and I take it. I have no idea what's about to happen. Can Taylor even get inside? Will he spill the beans about my facade? Will I be able to escape before I marry a ghost? Do I want to escape?
Now then, shall we? It is time to show you my precious family jewels.